We just didn't really want this book to be a book that drawings for girls. I mean, girls tend to just love to draw, and they're more maybe a little bit more artistic and creative, or maybe they're not, but they just love to usually do crafts and drawing. But we really wanted to put in some really fun things for boys, and so we have a transportation theme. But this little guy down in Gig Harbor, Riker, age 8, he's all into the military. I mean, we have these images. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to, even suggest things to them, but they came up with their own ideas. And he said, "Well, I'm going to make mine a military helicopter,
Camouflage.
and he's going to use camouflage on his helicopter." He only had 4 steps to do in pencil, and then he used his own creativity. So, and once, remember, I told you that I gave these steps to them all in black and white, so they didn't see the color that Sally's that had chosen. So, but you can see it was always starting with the shoe print shape, and then adding, wings, legs. But we always added the face at the end. The face was the last step because that brings the image to life. A couple ears, couple antlers, and then his eyes and nose. So, and we've made this into greeting cards like this. And so that's fun to actually cut out the shapes and then cut and paste. So you could make even reindeer stick puppets as well as greeting cards. But fun for a child to make a greeting card rather than buying one and send it off to a friend or a relative, and then even date it or put his age on the back, and made and created by the child's name. So I really try to encourage parents and teachers and of young children to have the children make their own cards and then mail them off. What do we have, Sally? 3 or 4 monsters?
These are actually Karen's concept, and she wanted to use the shapes, the square and the triangle.
Right.
Triangle for the teeth, and I thought it was very clever. And children, it was so easy for them to do, and they were also having sort of a learning experience as well.
In the heart.
Yes, kids at this age, the young children, they all need to learn their shapes. So I thought, hey, let's just make a shape monster. So we have squares, ovals, diamonds, triangles, a heart, and rectangles. And it turned, it was just fun to create it in an oval. So it's just all the shapes that they need to learn, and parents and teachers can talk to them and introduce them and find out, see. It becomes a teaching monster too, to learn those shapes. The next one, please. So we have, I think, 3 or 4 different. We have a wing monster and all kinds of different monsters. And then kids love dinosaurs. And this is Cade's dinosaur, age 9. And here again, it's just 4 simple shapes, all starting from the shoe print shape. And so we have, I think, 3 or 4 dinosaurs in the book. And here's our snowman from our shoe print snowman. That would be a cute greeting card or even a stick puppet. Simple steps, but let them do all the steps in pencil first and then add the color. And let them just make it however they want. But it just gives them a base. I mean, if you ask a child to draw a dinosaur or a snowman, they probably say, "Oh, I can't do it." And yet when you break it down into steps, then they can. And then they say, "Hey, I can draw anything." And then we have 55 images all drawn from a shoe print shape, but there must be hundreds, so let's hope that the kids, will draw and create their own. She's age 8 and lives in Gig Harbor. She has cystic fibrosis and nearly died several times. And she's so talented. And I don't know how she made those little swirls. It's almost like they were maybe potato stamps or some kind of stamping that she did. But she put it all together herself. And we do have, some fun, stick puppets too. The seal. and a little bumblebee stick puppet, and then an airplane stick puppet, and we have the whale. I have a whale of a fun time, but you can see they're just cut into like 3 different parts, and then you just glue them on and just tape them on the back. But they can just play and have so much fun with these. Up with the idea of shoe print and changing it from footprint to shoe print, but then I did submit it to maybe 12 different publishers. And I got, personal letters back from the editor saying it's a pretty cute idea, or, oh, it doesn't look quite right for our list, how they kind of try to be polite, but it's a no. But, Dr. Seuss was rejected like 125 times before he got his first book accepted. So, but I think about 12 different publishers rejected it for some reason, but they thought it was a cute idea. But then one very big publisher in New York City loved it and said it was just right for them. It was quirky and fun, and it would really work because they had a handprint book, and they had a thumbprint book, and they had a fingerprint book, but they didn't have a shoe print book. So wow, I was so excited. And this company, they also make like drawing kits. And so I thought, oh my gosh, they sell worldwide. I bet they'll put a tablet with crayons inside and a pencil. And oh my gosh, I mean, I just hit it, really hit it. And I was just so excited. They wanted to hold on to it, and they were structuring their preschool line. I think, fine, that's good. But it worked for them, and I thought, this is huge, because it was such a great company, and I love this company. Anyway, about 8 months later, I got a letter saying that the owner of the company had just retired, and a new manager had taken over the company, and he wanted to do everything in-house. He didn't want to accept anything from the outside, which meant that they were going to have to send it back to me. So I got it back, and I thought, I know, they thought it was a great idea. I know it's a great idea. I've been doing this, these Chicks and Bunnies for 35 years, and I've come up with all these other ones, and so anyway, it was because of this big company in New York that pushed me and said, I just got to do it. It's my idea. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to self-publish. So then I was connected with Sally, and then we started. But then when they were all completed, and thank goodness Marianne Cole is my official editor, and so she's editing page by page, and I've got Sally working, I don't think she ever slept that whole year. She was working till 3 and 4 in the morning because she's a night owl. And anyway, but anyway, we finished the book, and so then Marianne said it has to be done in color, and to go to color, you have to go overseas. Color in the United States is to print in color is too expensive, and so I had been partnered with Leo Paper in China many years previously on another project, and they have their headquarters in Issaquah, in my backyard. And so, like Leo Paper is like the second largest manufacturing company in the world, and their work is just magnificent. They have manufactured Care for Our World and Shoe Print Art, both of my books, and I knew that they just have such high standards and great quality. So it was easy, and I had my friends right in Issaquah, so I had them cost out the book. It looked good. So I ordered 5,000 copies of hard copies, prints. So it took a while, and then they came across the ocean, and then they were delivered to the port in Fife, Washington. And I was so excited, just opening up the first palette and looking at all these books. And so anyway, a lot of books, 5,000 copies there, and all boxed up, and everything arrived very safely and everything. So then what do? You try to find a distributor. You have to have many people helping you, and then you start doing book signings and book events and school events, and those are all fun. And you just have to keep getting the word out there, but you really do need help distributing, and you need lots of different companies to help with that. So that was a really big hard step. It wasn't a step that I really enjoyed. I love presenting. I love working with kids. I love drawing. I believe in the book, and it's such a great, cute book. But then you have to get them distributed. So that was a challenging part. So there's lots involved with the selling, the marketing, the distribution, all of that. So then, but it all worked out, and everything that doesn't work begins something that you learned, because you learn by mistakes. And so some things that didn't work out in the best way was a learning lesson. And, it just, through obstacles, you have to work through them and then try to find better answers and better solutions. So it's just a whole big learning process that keeps on going for the lifetime of the book. As long as you're alive, you just keep learning and making mistakes. And if you don't make mistakes, you're not out there making many decisions or doing much, I guess. You're too afraid to make a decision or a choice, and so whatever. So you're just sitting at home doing Facebook all day or pinning pins on Pinterest or something. But anyway, I did make some mistakes, and I've had lots of challenges and obstacles, but it's still this is one of the highlights of my life, and I'm so glad that I chose to self-publish. I'm so blessed that I met Sally, and she made the book so adorable, and it won the Benjamin Franklin Gold Medal Award in New York City, a national award from Independent Book Publishers Association. So it was a finalist. They announced the finalists, and I was one of 3 finalists, and I wasn't going to go back to New York City. And, it's a pretty expensive trip with a flight and, the lodging is so expensive in New York. And then my friends were saying, Karen, your book is a finalist. Like, you've got to go. I mean, you've been at this for like 28 years. I mean, go and just, go to the banquet and, you'll be introduced as a finalist, one of the top 3 in this division. And anyway, and so I thought, they're right. I mean, life is short, and this is pretty special, after all these years of trying and submitting. Okay, I am a finalist. I think I should go. So I thought, it's just money, just go. And so I did. And then it was wonderful. And big banquet, and all these publishers and writers from the Independent Book Publishers Association. They're all members, and my category was first book to publish, my first book for Hide and Seek Press. And so they announced the 3rd place, the 2nd place, and then Shewprint won the gold medal, Benjamin Franklin. So Marianne Cole was with me at the table, my editor, and so she came up with me, and it was really, really, really special. And so now, for the lifetime of Shewprint Art, it has the gold medal, Benjamin Franklin gold seal on the books. And so you order those and pay for those, and then you can put them on your book. And so it is one of the real highlights of my life to have published this beautiful, darling book, and I hope that I'll just keep on selling forever and ever.